goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight from my soul.
Hey YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to another Octane ATV. I said that weird, didn't I? Man, I can't talk today. Hello YouTube, welcome back to another Octane ATV vlog. So in this video, I am going to do a follow-up to the Ford F-150 that I did. Ford F-150 review video, or quasi-review, as I mentioned before. I'm not a professional reviewer of anything, really. Certainly not trucks. And a number of you pointed out errors in my stats and stuff like that from the last video, which is cool. Like I said, thanks for pointing it out, to be honest. But I think I had the engine torque and horsepower wrong, and probably messed up a few other things. I'm by no means any kind of professional reviewer. I just had this new truck, and I thought that you guys might like to see my thoughts on it. So we're gonna go take it through the car wash. Sorry, detailing guys. Also had a bunch of comments in the last video from guys that detail cars and trucks. They were like, oh dude, don't run through the car wash, you're killing me. Sorry man, I don't have a lot of time to do a proper detail on this thing. So as you saw in the opening here, once a week I just give it like a little once over, kind of just vacuum out all the week's dust and clean up any french fries and Timbits and things of that nature that my kid left behind. So we're gonna run through the car wash, and then I'm gonna tell you kind of what I think about this new truck. After tomorrow I'll have owned it for 4 months, so it's a good 4-month test now. I've got about 230 kilometers on it so far. Yeah, anyway, looking forward to sharing my thoughts with you, so stay with me. Flat out today, I suppose. As soon as you get to the nice weather, but that's it. Everybody wants the car clean. Figured it. Thanks a lot. I'll see you later. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars plus the one in there, so we got a bit of a wait. So all right, let's talk about it. So while we're waiting in the line up there for the car wash, again, sorry detailing guys, I know you're rolling your eyes at me. We're going through the car wash, but I'm lazy. What are you gonna do? Anyway, truck has about almost 5,250 kilometers on it now. As I said at the outset of the video, I've had it for about, well, it'll be 4 months tomorrow, actually. All right, some initial impressions of it. So far, it's my first Ford, right? So I've never owned a Ford before. So far, so good. You know, it's a good truck. It's nice looking. Has a, you know, moonroof and all kinds of nice features like that. Power everything, you know, adjustable pedals, dual zone AC, sorry. This little compartment here to put your phone in is actually kind of handy, even though they don't really talk about it much, but I guess it's for your phone or a pen. Anyway, I put my phone there, and it's nice, easy to grab it, whatever. It's got the huge 12-inch display, you know, the nice display over here as well. But speaking of display, okay, here's the thing. Yeah, it's big. It's like, I think it's a 12-inch screen. Again, I'm no professional reviewer, guys, so check my facts. But as I understand it, it's a 12-inch screen. And honestly, I just don't really see the need. I don't really understand why it needs to be this big. I mean, sure, it's cool, I guess, and all, and you can do cool things. You can like drag this over here and make that one as big, and you can drag that back, and you can change the displays up, and you can put all sorts of different stuff on the display if you want or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's basically just your radio, right? I mean, unless you're on the highway commuting a lot, long distances and whatnot, maybe it might be a bit more beneficial. But a guy like me, I don't spend a lot of time in the car, honestly. I don't know. I just don't see the point of this display. And I understand from a friend of mine that works at Ford that if the display does go and you don't have warranty on it, it's something like $5 grand to replace it. So keep that in mind. Anyway, I mean, it works good. You know, it's responsive, moves well, connects to your phone good, all that kind of thing. One thing though, and you know, honestly, this kind of really bugs me. If I'm being totally honest, it seems very cheap on Ford's part. I don't know. Here, let me just show you. Like right here, see, for example, I'll pull the navigation over, and as you can see, it's really responsive and whatnot. But now that I've had the truck for a few months, if I hit search, look at this. This feature requires activation. Do you know, or did you know? Maybe you do know. I didn't know. But Ford expects you to pay for that. And I checked on the price of it yesterday. I think it was like tax included in Canada. It would be like $140 a year. What? What? $140 a year so that I can search. Man, every car I've had in the last 12 or 13 years has had navigation, and you could just search based on the built-in map, right? Maybe Ford would expect you to pay for updates or something like that if the map had a new version or something, but that honestly really bugs me, man. I really do not enjoy that, and it just seems really cheap on Ford's part. You know, you go here, you hit search. Oh, sorry, you got to pay for that. Give me a break, man. No thanks, dude. I'll just use my phone. Honestly, I don't know. That really put me off. I don't even know what to say about that. Like I said, man, that just seems so cheap to me. Really, that you can't search, and they would try to, like, let's face it, people use their phone 99% of the time these days anyway. But still, it's just really petty on Ford's part as far as I'm concerned. It's a $50,000 to $60,000 truck, man. And you're telling me you want to pay $150 a year to be able to search for navigation coordinates? No thanks, man. Anyway, the display, like I said, the display works really well. And it's fast, responsive, it's got a great sound system, all the stuff is good in it, but I just, this whole like connected services thing is just another way for all the manufacturers to make more money off you, and I don't know, it's really disappointing. Can you tell I'm disappointed? Anyway, it is what it is, I guess. It doesn't really matter to me because I hardly ever use navigation, of course, and if I do need to use it, I'll just use my phone. And you know, of course, it supports Apple CarPlay and all that other jazz or whatever too. But anyway, I just thought that was really dumb. So heads up on that one, Ford. All right, enough about the screen. Well, not the screen. The screen is awesome, but the search thing in navigation, I don't know. That just really put me off, man. When I clicked that the other day to look for something, and it said I had to reactivate it, I was like, man, seriously? Anyway, moving on. So down in the center console, no complaints. Everything works good. Gear shifter, you know, solid, easy. I actually kind of missed the one up here, really, but you know, this does the job. It's fine, no complaints. Again, good spot for your phone, some cup holders, big cavern down here. It's great. One thing that I really find a bit odd though about this one, I came from a Ram. Last two trucks I had were Rams, and I'm not trying to be all like Dodge is better or anything, because listen, they all got their ups and downs. But the Dodge center console thing was in two pieces, that if you open this top part, it had like a place for you to lay your wallet, your pens and change and shit. And then it had the big cavern down below, but this one doesn't have that. Now, I mean, it does have this little tray thing here, which I guess accomplishes basically the same thing. And it is a very big space down there. Lots of room to store all whatever you need. Plus you got the storage container over here. And then your standard glove box, of course, right? Which is also huge. Anyway, I kind of missed a little double console thing that they had in the other one. I know now Ford has this other arm thing, that like table thing that lays out here too, workspace I think they call it, but this truck's not equipped with it. I find that the, I don't know about you guys, man, but you know, the dash controls, or sorry, the steering wheel controls, they're all great, well laid out, easy to use, but I always just still use the volume knob. I don't know why. It's just, I'm just programmed that way, I guess. Here and there I might touch these things, but you know, I don't know. I just don't use them for whatever reason. One other thing I'd like to point out on this truck too is this truck is equipped with a 3.5 EcoBoost, in which I incorrectly talked about last time about what kind of horsepower and torque that it had. Well, it looks like we're moving up here. I'll stand by here, guys. I want to scrape my wheels. This thing is long. Anyway, yeah, so why is this guy got his reverse lights on behind me here? Yeah, there. I thought this guy was going to back into me for a second. Anyway, yeah, this truck is equipped with a 3.5 EcoBoost engine, and you know, it's good. There's lots of power and whatnot. But you know, Ford kind of touts the EcoBoost engine as being like really fuel efficient. And this truck right now, after I've had it for about 4 months, is getting around 14.8, 14.7, you know, daily driving in the city sort of thing. I don't drive like with a heavy foot or anything like that. So I was expecting a bit better, if I'm being frank. My last truck was a 2017 Ram 1500, and it had the 5.7 liter V8 in it, MDS Gen 2, I think, where it shuts off the cylinders that you're not using. And you know, that would get 14.3, 14.2, sometimes even 13.7, 13.8 in the summer months if I drive conservatively. So if anybody out there is trying to buy an EcoBoost to save a bit of money on gas versus your V8 that you have right now, I don't know, man. Maybe you'll find it different than I did, but so far I don't see any difference at all. It's basically the exact same gas mileage. So, you know, anyway, it's fine. The gas mileage gets me, it's what I was used to, right? So I just kind of thought that I might get a little bit of savings, but I guess not. Anyway, one other thing to talk about, since we're talking about the engine, the 3.5 EcoBoost, you know, is a single turbo versus the 2.7 that has the twin turbos, I understand. Again, check all these facts. I'm not up on it. But there is a significant turbo lag. So if you happen to catch the truck in the middle of a gear change, because it has a 10-speed transmission, so it's changing gears all the time. If you happen to catch it in the middle of a gear change and you walk on the gas at the same time when you, like, say, taking off from a light or something like that, there's a significant delay. Like, I mean, it's kind of like I mash the throttle to kind of, you know, zip in somewhere quickly in traffic or whatnot, and it takes, I don't know, I mean, I guess it's only like half a second or something, but it feels like a long time when you need that power, you know, if you're trying to cut out quickly or something like that, make lane passes or lane changes or whatever. It's just a bit weird. It's nothing to really be complaining about. I don't know if I would call it a complaint, but it's definitely something to be aware of if you're going to buy this truck with a 3.5 EcoBoost. There's definitely a little bit of delay. Maybe there's a way to address that. If you know, let me know, because I certainly don't know. What else? Now, there's one other thing that really needs to be addressed, is this auto stop start thing. So you push the button and it turns it off. I cannot figure out for the life of me why Ford would make you have to turn that off every single time. Like, why can't you just have the default setting to be off if you choose so? If I wanted to be on to conserve fuel, fine. I really don't believe that it does conserve fuel, but it really bothers me, to be honest, that you had to do that every single time. Now, as I mentioned in the last video, there are ways to address that. Probably the easiest way is an auto stop start eliminator, which is a little switch that goes in behind the switch here. You take this piece off, and it just remembers what setting you had it on. So if you had it on off last time, you'll have it on off when it turns it on the truck again. But I just will not ever understand why any auto manufacturer, Ford included, but whoever else as well, that makes these cars with the auto stop start, why do you force the person, why do you force the person to have to engage it or turn it off, sorry, every single time? That, it just makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. And up here too, they have this thing where you can hit this button here and it shows you the back camera, but as soon as you start moving, it turns off again. Why is the purpose of that? Like, obviously I'm going to need to see it if I'm backing up. What's the purpose of being able to check your surroundings and look back if you can't move with it on? It just doesn't make sense, again, you know. I feel like I'm kind of crapping on this truck a lot, but I'm not really. I really like the truck. It runs good. It's really smooth on the highway. It's got lots of power, minus that little bit of turbo lag. But there are several things about it that are somewhat annoying, and I just don't really understand Ford's mindset in what they were thinking, to be honest. You know. But anyway, enough griping about the auto stop start. I think that, like I said, don't take all my commentary here as me crapping all over the Ford truck. I really like the Ford truck so far. I guess it's just taking a little bit of getting used to, coming from 10 years of driving Rams. I don't know. Anyway. Alright, while we're waiting here, getting up here now, it's like still a couple of cars ahead of us. I hadn't talked about anything in the back seat. Like I said, guys, this is not I've said several times in the last video, I'll say it several times in this video. I'm not a professional reviewer, so this is my daily driver truck. So you can see there's all my junk in the back for my kid, and I got blankets on the seats, of course, because there's constantly food everywhere, Timbits and French fries and God knows what else. Anyway, we've really enjoyed all the room in the back. I have to say, one of the most positive features about the truck so far, even though it's a bit long, because I did get the extended cab, Super Crew, I think they call it. Again, I don't know, you have to look it up. The 4 full doors, I call it, with the 6'5" box, which makes the truck a little bit challenging at times, because I'm not used to it being as long. My Dodge had the shorter half doors. It's not a big deal. It's only like 7 or 8 inches longer, but it can be a challenge, even at like places like Walmart and whatnot, just be able to make turns. You know, in traffic coming the other direction, you're gonna have to go out into the other lane a little bit. Parking spots are a bit of a pain, you know, if they're not big enough for a truck and whatnot. But I will say that as usability wise, like living with the truck daily, having the huge cavernous inside cabin is one thing that Ford really did well. It looks great. I love it. All right, so while we're waiting, we're getting pretty close there now. Should only be another few minutes. One thing that I didn't note when I was talking about the screen was that twice since I've had this truck, I don't know if you guys have had this problem, let me know. So far, twice now since I've had this truck, the air conditioning just went all weird. Like even when you had it up on full, there was like barely nothing coming out of here. All I can figure is that it seemed like it was the engine, or the fan motor, or whatever you want to call it, was indeed working. It just seemed like the vent wasn't open or something like that. Because it's weird, you have a button down here to push, but then it brings it up here about where you want it to be, you know, coming at the top or down the bottom or just here or all three or whatever combination of that you choose. The weird part about it was like, you know, AC seemed like it was on, but it was like you just had it on 1, but I really had it up on like 7, the highest setting that it goes. Anyway, I kept fooling around with pushing the button and changing the various settings, and it was kind of coming and going and feeling like it was going to work and then not work. And then anyway, I turned the truck off for like 10-15 minutes and turned it back on again, a la Windows computers, and it all started working again. So, you know, I guess that's with all the electronics and, you know, software and technology that are built into these trucks now. It's cool and all, but it does have some downsides, I guess. And the downside is here that the computer must have gotten, I don't know, confused or upset about something, or it didn't know where the door, what section the door was in, or what position, sorry, the door was in. And I'm assuming that if you turn the truck off and leave it off after a while, it kind of goes into like sort of like a sleep mode. Anyway, it was a bit bizarre. Let me know in the comments if anybody else has had that problem. I found it a bit strange, to be honest. I did go as far as making a service appointment to have it looked at, but turn the truck off, turn it back on again. Seems to have fixed the problem, so I didn't really bother going any further with it. If anybody else out there has had that trouble, let me know. Hey, thanks. Well, didn't beep or anything, so I guess we're waiting. Oh, there we go. A little bit of lag. A little bit of turbo lag. Alright, let's wait it out. Here we go. Okay, car wash all done. I know I was kind of like meh about the screen earlier. It's so big and doesn't really need to be that big and whatnot. One thing is really good though is the backup camera. Like, man, when you put this thing in reverse, that thing is huge, and it has all kinds of sensors and whatnot, of course. This truck also has blind spot sensors, which maybe many of you guys have been used to for a long time, but my Ram didn't have that. It's great. So big ups to Ford on this one, because the backup camera is super clear, as you can see, and it's huge. It makes backing up this monster a lot simpler, that's for sure. All right, we're all done with the car wash and Sunday cleanup and my review. Watched the episode of Friends the other night where they were trying to explain Joey about what the air quotes are, and I can't stop doing it ever since. It's so funny. Oh, I'm sorry. Man, Friends is still funny after all these years. Although wildly politically incorrect by today's standards. Anyway, right, so we're all done here today. I know that probably, you know, if you listen to or watch my commentary there during the middle of the video, you'd probably think that I'm not a big fan of this truck. That's not necessarily the case. I was a little put off by that navigation search thing. I gotta say, it just seems so petty, man. I think the sticker price on this truck was like $58,000 or some foolishness like that. And to me, it just seems like, really, Ford? You couldn't have just let that slide and just have that as a feature? Like my 2012 Ram could look up and search navigation things. And, you know, having to reboot the thing twice to get the air conditioning working again. And not really saving any gas mileage at all with the EcoBoost, plus the turbo lag of the EcoBoost. You know, just kind of meh. Being my first Ford, I guess I just wasn't used to it. Plus the auto start stop thing, man. Like, honest to God, I don't even understand what any engineer was thinking when they said, like, just make that mandatory. You have to reset it every single time. Like, I want to find you and talk to you. Seriously, man, like, that is so annoying. What the heck is the reasoning behind that? I don't want my starting motor to be just like going like 50 times a day every time I go anywhere, you know? Foolishness, man. Anyway, overall, I have to say it is a really nice truck. It drives really nice. It's well equipped. It's huge inside. It's got a bunch of safety features that my old truck didn't have: blind spot detection, collision avoidance. It'll like won't let you back into anything because it'll hit the brakes for you automatically. If you leave the truck in park and move it, or sorry, leave it in drive accidentally. What's wrong with me today? If I put it in, leave it in drive accidentally, it'll put itself in park. Freaked me out the first time I saw it, actually, because the shifter was actually moving. So overall, yeah, it's been a great truck. Look, it's a great addition to my family. It's got all the space in the world that we needed desperately, because the Ram was way too small with the half doors. It's a bit long, but you get used to it, like I said, and I don't want to give up the 6'5" box because of my quad, you know, and for the rare time we do transport it somewhere. Would I buy another Ford? Yeah, probably. But there are certain things that I want to have to address. The auto stop start eliminator is just like I have to get one of these things, because I'm so sick of having to push the button every single time I get in to turn off that. But other than that, it's been a great truck, like I said. I had wished for or hoped for some better gas mileage and whatnot, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm not losing any money from my old truck, so I'm fine with that. And I will say that this thing is fast, really fast. Like I said, you get a little bit of that lag in the turbo when you first start, but boy, oh boy, once that turbo spools up, look out, man. Put it in sport mode with the traction control off. Yeah, it's fast. I'd say it would easily out accelerate my my 5.7 Hemi Ram, like, no question about it. Just blow the doors right off it. But yeah, anyway, I think that's about it, right? Essentially, it's a great truck. I really like it. You can't really beat the pricing on the Fords, so, you know, that's how I got into it in the first place. It's well equipped. It's got a bunch of great features, a bunch of great safety features, lots of room. There are some minor annoyances, you know, but certainly there were things that annoyed me about the Ram as well. You know, so here we are. And I think that's about it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care. Bye.